Meanwhile, Germany has officially withdrawn all of its troops from the West African country of Niger, ending an 8-year mission. 60 troops have left, along with equipment. Last month, Germany said it could no longer cooperate militarily with Niger due to a lack of trust. Niger was long considered a reliable partner for Europe and the US in the fight against terrorism. But last year, the country was taken over by a military junta that came to power in a coup. Well, let's speak now to Paul Njai, who's in Cameroon. Paul, first of all, why has this breakdown happened now in this past month?
So Niger and Germany were in talks to have, Germany's stay in the country extended, but because they could not agree on terms about German forces being immune to prosecution, they had to stop that agreement, and so Niger gave them up until August 31st to leave the country. Yesterday, that's Friday, in the capital Niamey, held a ceremony to officially mark the end of Germany's operation in Niamey, and it also signals the end of Germany's operation in the broader Sahel region. It is contrasting, you just raised that earlier on, because Niger and Germany said in a joint statement that it does not mark the end of their military cooperation, but in July, Germany's foreign minister actually said they could not continue a cooperation with Niger over lack of trust issues.
And why is Niger such a key outpost for the West then when it comes to tackling terrorism?
So Niger is actually considered as the epicenter of the West's anti-terrorism fight. It also hosted a base of the United States Army, an air base, especially in Agadez, where U.S. forces were based. Germany also provided key intelligence to the Nigerian forces when it was still in the country, and also helped in training these forces. So the West used Niger as its center to counter jihadist and Islamist militants in the region. And with their departure now, it raises concerns about the security situation in the broader Sahel region. There are risks of a security vacuum in that area, and fears arise that the militant groups will continue to heighten their attacks on civilians and military officials in this particular Sahel belt.
I imagine, Paul, it also raises questions about alliances now, if we're speaking geopolitically.
That's right. It raises key questions about alliances. And I should also update that the Nigerian, Malian, and Burkinabe leaders are now going towards Russia for these security alliances. Russia provides them with key military equipment and those it considers as military instructors, but generally they are mercenaries to help their counter-terrorism efforts in their countries. But also it has been criticized by the West because the Russian mercenaries are known for gross human rights violations. So it raises questions about what would become of these countries going forward. Especially also, I should say that recently the Bear Brigade, which is a Russian paramilitary group, recently announced that some of its troops would be leaving Burkina Faso to rush back home to counter Ukraine's offensive in Russia's Kursk regions. Lots of geopolitical tensions at play right now.
Just briefly, Paul, for the benefit of our viewers around the world who may not be as familiar with it, just explain what the Sahel region consists of and why it's so significant.
So it's so significant because it's an area where, counter-terrorism efforts are being made by the West. This is an area susceptible to militant attacks in Mali, in Burkina Faso, and it's also very crucial in especially the United States of America's gathering of intelligence around these areas. So once the military leaders in these countries seized power in a coup, there were fears that there will not be a coordinated effort against these militants that are growing across the Sahel belt.
Paul, thank you. Our correspondent Paul Njai in Cameroon there for us.